Ooh, boys. Fuck me. The sinus is gonna put me in the grave. The Zambok won't open. Right. So I think I called this thing Model 25. Model 25 has been my combination of an order block, a fair value gap, which then obviously incorporates an inversion fair value gap, buy side imbalances, sell side imbalances, so SIBIs and BISIs. Um, I don't really incorporate too much when it comes to like a break of market structure, but obviously when it's present, it's present. Um, but yeah, let me get into it though. Uh, so I would never want to, show this, but fuck it, why not? And here it is. And I will remove this and I'll show the first. Okay, so if I can just type it out here, what do you need for this model to work? A run on stops on hourly. Now, when I say stops, I just mean a run on either highs or lows, right? So we'll make that. This, I'm not gonna go on about the order because it's the same thing. So you want to run on stops. Number two, you need to have an inversion fair value gap formed, or a BISI or SIBI. So for the sake of this example, I'll be just focusing, say, on longs, and then one can always just, um, you know, just apply it to shorts. But I'll do shorts as well. So run on stops, and okay, quite enough. So for longs, then I'll just say, well, let's say a bullish inversion fair value gap. Then you want to see a bullish propulsion block slash order block, and then you also want to see an 0.71 OTE return. Yeah. So then number 5 is stop loss is most recent low. Well, actually no, stop loss is then the Fib 1. I'm it's normally the 100 level, but I guess in this case it's called the reason why. Let's say here low. I will say from where anchored. It's a lot easier to actually just do this and then try and type it out and communicate all this stuff. But and then the take profit is most recent high of before IVG form. Alright, so run stops, and I'll even blur this up and inversion fair value gap, propulsion block, OGE, return stop losses. So what I mean by that is, and I'll focus on today's one where I actually fucked up myself, was I had drawn it to actually this high here because it's the most recent high. So let me just, fuck's sake, let me put this here and extend this, and right. So in terms of 3 o'clock, which opened here, we run lower. One would also yes, but why not buy this busy after this, market structure shift, and it's used to fuck me over. I just saw it as, and even if, because you've had this inversion and that inversion, closed with this candle. The reason why I did not get involved is here previously we had closed past this candlestick's low, which made a bullish inversion fair value gap, ran a little bit higher, and then we just exploded lower. So I didn't trust this fair value gap to hold any sort of bullish momentum in future, as well as this one here, because we had wicked so far above it. And if I see the 1 minute wicking so far above it, then I know that on the say if there was a 5 second chart or something, while it is, I just don't have access to it. Price likely closed past as high, but you see how it moves down low with speed. The only one which you had not closed above was this fair value gap. So I was looking at that like, cool. If we don't get a close above it, and say maybe then a nice retracement into OTE, I'm not going to bother even trying to get long. So I ignored the trade. Price then broke low as well. This entire time, if we just quickly jump to the 1 hour time frame, um, let me just move this. Hi, yeah, winter is here now. Well, not here per se, but it's getting cold. I'll make this a very light white just so that it's not too invasive and shit. So we do trade into this fair value gap here, and that was why even this move here, one might have been a bit. Well, actually, look, this was the focus. Sorry, I'm forgetting a bit now. Um, we did trade into this fair value gap before, yes, but we didn't trade to the consequent encroachment, and this low was formed at 1 a.m. So when we had 2 a.m. here, all I was waiting for was I actually wanted, to just run lower, trade up, so basically go lower, and then clear this. This was marked as a 1 a.m. pre-market low or 1 a.m. hourly low. See it somewhere. I'll go and open the top each hour. But so I had that point marked out here, and so I wanted. If you go now to 2 a.m., you'll see that. Where was it? Yeah, here. All I was looking for was this point sell side, but you see how like it runs and it's just. But during all of this, I wasn't even on the 1 minute because I knew that I was gonna try and do some creative shit. I was gonna try and take like some trade. So I'm just sitting, I'm doing other things, and I've got the 1 hour on because that's the time frame in which I'm looking for a certain point of liquidity to get run, and then or certain stops to get run, and then I can take the reversal trade. Um, I'm not great at always getting the correct daily range, but I can very sometimes I can time certain moves very well, because like if you can watch price for long enough and you can kind of get into, I know it sounds crazy, but fuck it, if you can watch price long enough, you do get in tune with it a bit. And you know like over here with these gaps, like some time back I would have thought to myself, okay, cool, this is also now like a breaker setup and should go long with the stops below here, and trying to force these longs, but you don't see that all these prior digs higher here, here, and here are going to fail because you've got this one big roadblock, which look what happens when price actually overcomes a roadblock. Here it literally gaps above it, and you see it run for the highs. But anywho, so the market then trades back lower. Now the model that one will see here is, so from this low, so we move lower, we create a SIBI over here, a sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. We make that there. We can make this Make it black even. It's fine. Make a black for a look up. Then you've got this inversion here as well. So me being an idiot decided, okay, so I see again when you see price just wick through a fair value gap like that and even it closes within, I have been considering just going long there instantly with the stop loss here, but again, that's not enough. That's not enough confirmation for me. Because then I feel like again I'm trying to do too much predicting instead of waiting for certain candlestick formations, to then play in my favor. So we make this propulsion block here. Again, price at some point is all the way up here, and I see again we close within it. Now we're really showing this willingness to be wanting to go higher, and now we've closed past as well this consequent encroachment. All right, next candle. So now that I see that we've got this, um, you know, this propulsion block, I'm just noticing that we haven't closed past this, that point. I'll draw it out for the sole reason of this down close candle here, um, because the body is smaller than the wick. I mean, just look how large the wick is in comparison to the body. I wanted to wait for price to close past that and also close past this SIB, because up until this point, this is still a SIBI because we haven't closed past it on this time frame. But I'm sure if one were on, a 15-second chart, you would have probably found, that this candlestick here probably would have been your entry with your stops below here. But so we get that close. I'm like, cool. I'm waiting for the return. And now this is where I fuck up here. So up to this point, right, I have gotten long on this candlestick down on this move lower because I've now drawn the fib out. And although throughout backtesting the entire fucking weekend, I was focusing on the 78.6 level or the 0.786 level for the sole purpose of um, it just offers a better risk to reward. And sometimes like the 61.8, like it really has weak reversals. Like yeah, it's gonna give you 1.5 R, but if you just do more, 0.786 level trades, yeah, it's a bit more like cherry picking and stuff. But yeah. So I get long over there basically, but and this pisses me off now. Now I see this low form here, and it's the most recent low before price closes, past this inversion here. Now, just for the sake of like you want to have a tight stop loss, now I had to move it just slightly lower to allow for spread. So stop loss was more like here, right? So I placed my stop loss there. This high is my initial target, right? But I'm looking for the buy side here, and actually, well, it's not going to show now, but yeah, here we go. I want this buy side way up here. So, what does the genius in me do? I don't know why. Again, I want to be so greedy, but obviously that's the first target for four. Everything else would have been. So if I had, two lots on, I will leave like 0.5 because I think it's the smallest amount with like VIX 25 that can be left on, and then that would have done me some more there. And the reason why I had made this my stop loss, and rather I learned the lesson now when I don't like. Yes, I lost the potential to make quite a bit of money on this trade, which is fine. Um, yeah, no, I should have been more. I should have been more willing to just wait. And number one, think of who we've made the inversion, right? Um, and you see that like just put that limit at that 78.6, allow for the stop, because technically this inversion play is only invalid once this thing gets traded past. Like there'll be times where you'll make the inversion and it'll come and just tap it, and then like it'll pull back and you think, oh shit, well, I should have just had my stop loss just a bit lower, and then you try and get in again, and then it trades back up into this, or like will trade strongly, close below the high of the SIBI, because then it becomes a reclaimed SIBI. This this right here, and then it just shoots the fuck down. And there's times I just be there screaming, and I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake! And even this morning, like, although a bit of annoyance, maybe tried or wanted to like build up, it just happened, and I was just like, I mean, I was still right. I was too greedy. And even after I saw it pull back here, I was like, I could try and get back in, but I'm going to just allow the loss. Just allow it. It is what it is. You lost the trade. Your stop loss placement was incorrect. Lesson learned. I'm learning these lessons now because very soon, I'm not saying very soon to be arrogant or to be like, "Oof, I have to sneeze." I didn't take this allergex bullshit today. The perks of having a caring girlfriend is that she gives me pills. Well, not like not drugs and shit, but well, technically these are drugs, but it's just these. This thing says tablets Bayer, Pty Limited. Is it was it Bayer? Isn't Bayer some sort of German company? Dude, I mean, fuck me. People are rich outside. Anywho, so with this entire model, I want to go back to what I was saying. So, how does this all tie in with what I'd said earlier about when I draw the outline for stop loss and whatever and whatever and whatever? So, this is, and fine, let's just make it a brighter color so it's the shit is so depressing if it's like that. Okay, so this becomes inversion number oh, number one, and we'll even say it's also bullish inversion. They've only got number one. Cool. From this low to that high, I fuck, it's meant to be this high. Um, this is your 78.6 level. After you get this, but if you're anchoring the Fibonacci from this point, the rule then can be so then the stop loss cannot be within this dealing range then, because if the stop loss is there, so basically, I mean, so if you if so what protects a low? Let's do that. The fact that you want, I guess sometimes you can use breakaway gaps as, and put your stop loss at their high or low, um, but there's no breakaway gap present here. So unlike this low, what protects this one from being broken? It's this inversion that formed here. So when price is digging back down, and I mean, it's not like, it just, it's not, so price coming down here. You're like, yeah, but why is it at the low end of this gap here as well? I mean, to think of everyone who's just think of like people think the market is coming down. They've got, I think people call this, is it a bearish flag, or it might be an incorrect way, but some guys will actually draw, say, the candlestick bodies or their trend line or whatever there. And so this seeing this, and so this push lower here, they start thinking to themselves, cool, maybe the market is going to continue trading lower, and you know I don't know, come into whatever they would consider support or something down there. That is, I don't know anything about that. I just don't trade that way, so I can't even comment. Obviously, people make money with every trading style out there. It's just that somebody finds something that works a bit better for them, and then they market it to a crowd of people, and they want to act like they are kings or whatever. I'm like, yes, some people have a lot more simple trading methodologies and like styles or whatever, but end of the day, if you can consistently make money, it's fucking tongue twister when you have a retainer. If you can make money on a frequent basis, on a regular basis, using whatever you're fucking doing, even if you're just doing like break and retest or whatever, or you just identify a high like this, you draw a rectangle. What the fuck? Yeah, here, and then as the trades down, you go long with your stop loss below here. You can make a 1 to 3 just from that. Like it's not. This is just the way that I'm trading using inversion fair value gaps and stuff. Because when I started watching ICT, that was the only way that I actually, you know, somehow understood like what it was that I'm actually doing. Because like before that, like yeah, I mean, I understood it, and I'll actually go into some of my notes from like 2022. And there was a point where I was like, this is my final week with ICT, and that was in 2022, yeah, 2022, 2023. And I'll say it now because I said it last year. So last year, I'm looking at, well, no, not even last year. Fuck, dude, we're in 2025. So in 2023, um, wait, I need to blow my damn nose, bro. I'm dying. So 2023, I said to myself, um, I was so nervous because I was doing, wait, is this thing even properly recording? Yeah. So I'm doing law. Only reason why I can speak, openly about this now is because it's unlikely that anyone will really watch this video and get to, I'm sure, over like 40, 50 minutes in. And this is just a way of me, even if in 5 years, I just want to see, hey, look, what was a 20-year-old version of me doing and thinking? Because, like, although, say, in like 2020, like, I thought like I had reached a certain level of maturity and know-how and this, and that. And then you live life and you're just like, damn, like, you know, like, I'm just not done, growing until I die. It's one of those things. So I'm doing law, and a model that I was quite into. Actually, if I stop sharing the screen for a second, I can find these things. Um, I first started doing my note taking with while my because I had an iPhone 10R, so I would do my note taking on my notes because like I'm watching an ICT video and you can literally just screenshot and put it in your notes and type away at it. And like I would just be at home on think of it like this is where I'm proud of myself in this sense because I was in matric, right, grade 12. I mean, I'd had, honesty, I just had a bit of a not the best year in that sense, but the year was okay. There was a bit of kind of bit of stress with like the final year exams because like you know I get told that like I really only have one chance. I can't fuck it up or whatever. You know, can't I? Like I was being doubted for my ability to do okay. Now I will say it now, and this is people can say I shouldn't talk bad about myself, but it's not even about that. I am not an A student, right? Now, there's many things that make up an A student. I think what makes up an A student is you are completely dedicated to studying. Now, I'm not saying that means 24/7, but you are the type of person who says, if I'm going to do 2 hours of chemistry after school, I'm going to do 2 hours of chemistry. I might even do two and a half. Yes, maybe, there will be a day where I just won't want to do as much, but you are willing to, dedicate your free time to studying, or to just doing work that surrounds the topic, and that just betters your understanding overall. Now, when it came to biology, if I think of meiosis or whatever, I don't give a flying fuck about any of that. It is like fantastic, um, how roots work, or like diseases, or white blood cells and memory cells, like and chromosomes. Like that's fantastic, but I don't give a shit, dude. Like if I want to know any of this stuff, I will just Google it. And if I can't Google it, well, then I'm just not gonna know it. Like I know, like yeah, I mean, it sounds dumb, but unless the world goes to like utter shit, there's a massive war that breaks out. It is what it is, man. Like I'm not going to lose my mind over, I don't know, just not knowing a bunch of stuff. Stuff like English. I mean, look, I think so. I did a B in English, a B in history, I think a B in economics as well, and then I got a C for biology, and then a D for Portuguese. Yeah, I wasn't that good at Portuguese, and then I got a C for math, but I was just doing that ordinary level math, so a C is the highest mark one can get. So I do that paper, right? So as far as things stand, when it comes to like my points and all, because I didn't drop a lot of subjects, right? I think I only dropped like one or two, so I still had what, like six subjects or so. So after everything, grade 12 points come out. I do fairly well, right? And then 2023 comes, and obviously, some family stuff, just a bit of internal conflict in that sense. Um, you know, me studying law was just the most peaceful option to make, so I started studying it. Can't like I look at my classmates, I look at the lecturer, and just the whole vibe of it. I know it sounds crazy, but like the vibe was just shit. Um, I'm gonna share the screen now with this whole Google Docs thing. But like the vibe was shit. I wasn't I wasn't enjoying myself, dude. And I know, and the sole reason why I wasn't enjoying myself is, I'll show you. Let's just go. Okay, fuck. Let's go to damn 6 is 390 pages. Alright. So trade review of 18/01/2023. I used to type all this shit, and it trying to word this right without actually looking at it proved to be quite difficult. So before I go to this law school class in now 2023, or even just sort of attending it, right? I'm there in my flat. This is a complete demo trade, right? And if you just look at this, let's see what I had done here. This was just a fair value gap after market structure shift. Good trade, I must say. I I would probably nowadays look for, or find a way to make this high my stop loss on like the 1 minute, and have an entry somewhere here. Um, but fair enough. Let's see the 3 minute. Yeah, just one of these tough cookie trades. Really, really, it would have scared some motherfuckers. I can't even lie. It running all the way back here, guys. We're probably trying to close out the trades. Dude, you have food. Why does this cat complain so much, bro? Yeah, example there. That's an entry model. As well as here. But so I'm seeing this stuff here, right? Watching ICT videos and all this stuff for now the past couple of months, only on ICT. Now, I had heard of supply and demand earlier, and I'd utilized certain strategies, but this was just more. This seemed better for me. That's what I'm gonna say. Like I was, like the trading stuff was, dude. Like nothing is competing with it. This is just like I don't like my mind is so. I, okay, fine. Worst things I'll say now. For a while, right? If you gave me alcohol, cannabis, trading, and I guess then yeah, um, happy guy. Then you find that like if you become involved too much with the alcohol and the cannabis, well then you don't really pay too much attention to the trading, right? Because when you're reliant on booze, like say like just constant boozing, or like if you want to get absolutely fucking baked like all the time, like yeah, like I can't lie that there's some days where you trade perfectly fine, but it's like if you said that you are not going to drink today and you choose to drink today, you just broke a rule. So not like you're drinking alcohol. So if you see a trade and you're like, okay, cool, but this candlestick closed with a large bottom wick, so that should nullify any sort of entry stance, and you're like, yeah, but screw it. See how like one rule break carries over into the next. So I was like, you know what? Like you've got to, just how do I put it? If you want to drink, right, drink with intention. Drink with the thing of like, dude, hey man, I want to have a drink. And if you're gonna feel bad about it, and if you're gonna feel shame about it, well then don't fucking drink it, dude. Because if you're feeling shame for doing a bunch of stuff, then you'd know damn well that why are you doing it. But if you're having a drink and you're like, dude, I'm just enjoying it, or even if whatever, but you can wake up and you're still fine and you can still have a productive day and you can still take care of yourself and go to the gym, or clean the house, make sure there's no dirty shit piling up. You can still do all those things, dude. Enjoy yourself, enjoy your life. My philosophy is like I could die at any moment, and that is the worst part, but that's also the best part, because if something so tragic and so bad can happen at any part, something fantastic can also happen. But I'm just here like yappaing away, man, for like 32 minutes. But it's so if we now get into this, I think again, it's called Model 5, this, right? So these are just all of these trade reviews. Um, to get bearish engulfing candles and all this stuff. So over here, you've got, 15-minute supply, midnight opening price. You see, that's what I marked. Um, what time frame is this? A 5 minute? You just see it here, forms that high into the gap. Uh, yeah, these are bad trades at all, man. Right? So that's what now I become, obsessed with. Talking about ICT power of three. And again, you want to be buying close in midnight New York open price, think of power of three. I said here from this ICT video here now. Own observation. Notice how in London kill zone, the market moves up but doesn't clear the low of the day. Then towards market close, it starts to move down. Then at New York Open, it moves up once again. This is a very clear indication that when going long or short during London session, you should close out any trades before the New York session. Yes, I would have been right that it was a buy, but the power of three moves and the liquidity grab at New York Open would have stopped me out. Therefore, I need to get into trades, then get out. Now, I wouldn't really say that this is a clear indication of you need to get out of trades, because sometimes London will form the high and the low of the day, and then it will gravitate towards the low, say towards the end of London, which allows you to then get long, and then you'll find that New York is this going to clear the high? Because London usually cannot hold both the high and the low of the day. It's got to be, either or. I'm not saying it's impossible. I mean, anything can happen, but it's just if something happens more often and you don't choose to use it, then yeah, well then you're screwed. So what I'm talking about here is this is this is 2 a.m. right? All you got to see here is note the pre-market sell side here. So when it doesn't come back here, just see where it's going. It runs above these highs, consolidates for a bit, moves lower, fair value gap here, a bearish change in the state of delivery. We run this high. With this candle's close here, we can see we make a 5-minute bearish BPR, which means it's likely some sort of 1-minute entry model there as well. And you just see it come back lower into this pre-market low here. All right. And then what happens? 7 o'clock, trades up higher, we reject the SIBI in here, and then you run those stops. Bullish change in the state of delivery, propulsion block flip, create an inversion fair value gap here as well. Touch down into it there. Once you do that, you're looking for that high immediately. But you see how I can say this now. I did not know this all this time back. And it's why like moving out of the house at 20 years old, soon to be 21. It's fuck. It's fucking suicide. Long story short, you're setting yourself up to struggle in so many ways. But I'm also putting a fire under my ass. So here I say, back to the boss, don't chase trades, even if it's going in your direction, but it doesn't follow my model, e.g., it missed my entry by a bit, do not enter. When you don't trade, you don't lose. Look, make every loss you take worth it by being extremely vigilant and following the model to the T. That's the only way to success. Rules of engagement for PM session. If you're bullish, generally the market has run higher in the morning, then it consolidates into the lunch hour. After the lunch hour, it'll drop down and sweep the sell stops below some short-term low made in lunch. That is still applicable today. Maybe my wording as well back then just wasn't as good. And then I said to reference figure 1.1, there's no consolidation at lunch, but rather a retracement. But this retracement does create a short-term low right before lunch. Then the market sweeps it during lunch. Notice how it's trading into a favor gap that broke a short-term high and closed the minute open. That this gives further confluence. No consolidation, but retracement. Okay, let's see. So here we're talking about lunch. That's lunch starts there. And so to put this into better words than what I said about consolidation and the retracement, it means more about when you see a retracement or some sort of reversal. If lunch chooses to not consolidate, for example, we have been moving higher and we create this buy side and you see this pullback here, right? But you see this failure to close past this low here. You get that. And then you see that price is making a bullish change in the state of delivery. All before 1 o'clock, and you've made this inversion fair value gap. That's how you know that then there's likely going to be. I would say that if you get a fast lunch, don't expect the opening PM session range, which is from 1:30 to 2 o'clock, to be the most explosive. I would rather look for that last 30 minutes of 3:15 to then 3:45 and look for something in that price window, because I mean you can see it here how yes you get movements here, but there's nothing proper here on like the 1 minute. You would have been a lot more blessed and probably would have found something worthwhile here and just riding up these trades. I mean it's 5 handles here on ES, fucking 20 points, 25 points on Nasdaq and all. That's fine. And Notice the swing point ICT uses the short term. It's not the low made at 9 o'clock, but rather the one made after the BS. Where's this damn thing? Okay, I can't see. See, this was the issue with using this whole sort of like note taking. Akala, I took a very long and tedious approach on how to learn trading because I like changing shit way too often. Um, when price doesn't lose for them, I need to learn other things like SMT, favoring up all the block. Mm. But then when Michael talks more about it, talking about 3 o'clock to 4. So I'm just saying, like, you see how these were building blocks all throughout that year, right? Let me just remove that. There's no other kind of words for it, dude. It's why the fuck is this thing in full screen or what? Just then another example, just to show again of I said here, I'm buying in a stupid place and greed will keep me in, so I closed. It might even push all the way down in a deep premium, but if we lose, we'll look for chances to short. Keep being wrong until you can read the tape. But that's probably meant of like, don't keep entering and keep losing. It's just, yeah, like here, for example, you got, so this is a 3 minute. PS price makes this inversion here. So you are looking for this high. But I think that this high then does get cleared here. So going long at this point, I mean, fuck, I don't even know why. I mean, it was too late. If there was like a nice, if it closed and we really, pulled down deeper into maybe this inversion, then like you could have found a way to sneak a 1 to 1. But yeah, I for fuck's sake. Let's see here. Thinking about breakers. Then I went long. I said, so let's see here. So I ignore that. Geez, now look at why would I open up myself to such a big bit of risk here, dude? Like I get this buy model. Just see what I do then. I close. I want a better entry. Now you see how like I'm saying I closed. I want a better entry. I think that we need to create sell side, then go long. We could see 930 push it down. Then we take buy side. We'll look for opportunity in a macro. I feel like it might be a case if the market offering you these perfect setups in the wrong side of EQ, and you can see there. Yeah, I guess that went and happened. Don't know what the fuck I was thinking. Um, Now I said I think we've done enough backtesting to know what to look for. We only trade when we've had a 15 minutes of liquidity, no rushed entries, only enter on breakers and fair value gaps, preferably on this consequent encroachment of gaps. Looking to enter on the CE of small gaps is selfish. Just make the call in the moment. If you're in a deep discount already, and entry of the CE is not needed, the second gap is made. It looks like the candle will close. Draw your GAN box immediately to find the CE. Now, like these things that I'm all talking about, they do make sense, right? But you see how like it took me a while as well. Wait, let's go back. Didn't I join? This was this Tyron BFX guy. Um, Again, look where I'm trying to get along here. Like you see how my problem is I keep talking about liquidity, but I'm looking for it. Like I'm doing the like a classic mistake of I identify a high or a low, and then I just decide like, okay, bet, price is gonna go there. Like here, like buy side, like I'm drawing that arrow. Why don't you just be like, cool, wait for it to maybe get there, then you find a short. So let's see what I do here. See now, if it then does that, then you wait for it to come down because it might even chop a bit and clear this high first. Then he said, "Can we still catch a scalp?" Okay, let's see. Market structure shift. That is not fucking market structure shift. Yes, I cannot trade futures because of where I live, and Bitcoin spread on none of the brokers that I have is actually good enough. So just yeah. See, like here, sort of about say you first went short here and your stop was above here. It's made an inversion and a propulsion block with this candlestick here. And so on that pullback, all you gotta do is just close out that fucking position. You literally lost like 40% of what you would have lost had you allowed that full, run. So again, so I still didn't know about inversion favor leg up. Then there's a six sister approach. I say here, another gem, you can enter on the open of a preceding candle of an anticipated OB. Yeah, if you have nice data feed, bro, and that's actually on point. You wouldn't use this as an entry, small BOS, whatever. And you see, guys, got his PD arrays. Nothing allows him to actually get short. You're indifferent to the outcome. Every trade place is an experiment. I should journal as much as possible from now on. So this is all just me learning more. During all of this, there's possible school stuff as well. Not liking it at all. If we go to so yeah, that was the trade. That's how it ended up playing out. See, like you trust stupid trades, then you actually have ones worth doing. For fuck's sake. Dude, I'm not. I told her I'm not doing it. Okay, so there's some messages just irritate the shit out of me. So look, long story short, um, like here with like the breakers, and I can see where my trading has come from, like all of these small things I know. But now for like the last 15 minutes of this, the focus will just be here on these charts here and show you all that it really is with what I'm doing now. It's an inversion fair value gap with a propulsion block. Here you get it. Well, actually, that's not in session. So I'm only doing this in London because it's the only reasonable time that I can actually be awake and so forth. Yes, the shit's gonna work in Asia as well. So fuck it, let's do this. So we'll go back to yesterday and we'll go 08, no, 02 $100. Cool. What happens then? Run higher, move back lower. You see, claim we made an inversion. There's no propulsion block. We trade up higher again, trade lower, propulsion block, fantastic. But waiting for the inversion, which is here. We close past it over here. We create these lows here. So we've made the inversion. Now, once you get this here, if you want your low risk trades now, right, you are strictly only allowed to take trades at these OTE areas after this inversion is formed. So it's inversion, and it has to, and yes, you will miss trades 100%. You'll miss a lot more trades, but by having the stricter criteria, you kind of you're looking for a lot cleaner moves. So final take profit point, well, that doesn't exist because you should most likely always be getting stopped at break even or whatever. So at your negative 0.5, you're up 4R, and this does seem ridiculous as to how this ran for, well, 10R. But even if you're only looking um, for example, this low here or something down here, it's still very very good. But again, let's just keep it conservative, and everything else was a runner. Now, why does it work here? Because this was a 2 o'clock candle. So this here remained a pre-market high here, 159. So this sell side move here gets ignored because we haven't run a high before we get short. If if this low getting taken out wanted me to led me to not believe that this high would hold, especially after this being reclaimed over here, it's fair enough. We could wait for it, and over here you get another inversion fair value gap, right? And then you just draw your fib from there. So it's got to be, well, actually, that's not a low now, is it? So it's got to be from there to there. And in this case, then your OTE bit becomes that with your stops, and that's about your 2.7R. But you can obviously see that, like the previous entry, you had quite the opportunity to make a bit of money on this here, especially considering that this was also your pre-market sell side right over here. It's also at your negative 0.5 standard deviation. That's your 4R bagged and tag. Everything else you hold. Let's go to the previous day, 27, 2 o'clock. So 2 begins here. We're looking at the hourly. We're like, cool. So we've got this pre-market buy side here. And we've also got this pre-market sell side here, which is fantastic. So market opens up. Throughout all of this, we're not involved. We haven't cleared any sort of sell side. So you ignore everything and you look at just focus on how shitty price is, delivering. You're not involved. You're not involved. You don't care. You get this, and you get this move right here. Now you're gonna draw this low, do that high. Right. You're gonna notice that even after we make the inversion, price does not come back to the 78.6 level, which sucks ass. Because this would have been an absolutely beautiful fucking trade. Runs up higher. We run a 2 o'clock high. Still pre-market intact. And bearish. Right, and this one here makes an inversion fair value up here. And then a prop block down here. Trades up into it. Again, now no model as well now. So market runs lower. It's now out of session. We're done. The only possible trade would have been over here, and I must say it now. If you see this there, you're trading down even into this propulsion block here. You've reached yours. Maybe yours. You're between your 78 and your 61.2. So you are at a golden level. It's not a perfect trade, but bada bing, bada boom. So same shit the previous day, 2 o'clock. What are we looking for? If this is 2 o'clock here, you've got buy side here, and evidently this is just a drawn liquidity. All of this is just one big fucking cockfest of highs. All right, so 2 o'clock, clear this. Well, we keep this low intact here actually, and the question was how brave. We would have had to be so you get this whole run lower here. Market does make an inversion and all, but because you never really cleared any of these highs, can't say I would have wanted to see a trade here. So then we don't really see any longs almost. Let me dig up into it here, and I took this trade actually. This was my winning trade of $10 US, and I'll show it now. Let's just go to derivative quickly. So I first got short here with my stop above there, and I was looking for. Well, obviously, actually, I did want this sell side here, but then I was like, oh, don't be so greedy. So I wanted something a lot more. Yeah, but then it came back, closed up here on a little push down. Then I closed out, lost 60 cents. Then I saw this changing state of delivery here, and I got short on that candle with my stops there, and I ended up closing around about over there. When obviously you can see it, had I held, I would have made 9R on this fucking absolute belt of a trade. And the proof of execution, I just need to go back and got to be somewhere. All right, let me just change screens. It was over here. You can see that this was the initial. Well, first I tried to actually, I don't know, go short here, trying to do some Venom model type shit. Well, not really, just a weak propulsion block close. This candlestick here closed with a massive bottom wick, just a dumb short, whatever. Then I tried it to here as well. I should have closed out. Well, I should have moved. I stopped at break even. Then he got that one jab higher, and then yeah, I should have sold 3 here and just really held that pitch and closed maybe 1.5 here, another one here, and then let the rest make me some more dope. But happy with it, and that's the thing. That's all I'm gonna start doing now. Like, you know, stop stop being concerned about all of these big swings and whatever else. Yeah. Anyways, I think that's enough yapping for the day. That's the forever model. And the main component is just identify extremes, just old hourly highs and lows. Let it gravitate towards it. Like allow yourself to miss a big potential 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 10 hour trade. Because if you can look for the same shit, become consistent, it's gonna bring a lot more success. So yeah, I will end this here then. I still believe that in the month of May I can make 100,000 rand if I apply this correctly. So let's see how crazy I get. Actually, how much is 1,000? I was gonna say so 100,000 rand to USD is 5,400. So can I make 5,400 US dollars in a month? I mean, if I hit these, if I get a few trades where I just literally do like targeting external points of liquidity and so forth, moving my stop loss to break even, letting the runners run, and allowing trades where I can be up 4 and still get hit at break even. But or just or if I can catch like 5 odd trades close, I don't know. We'll go with it. But the biggest part is going to have to be pay the trader though. I'm not gonna do the shit of like I'm up 7R and then I get I make nothing on it. It's 7R is fucking it's phenomenal. Like then these 9R trades will be like when I have the money to just leave like say $10 and just take a trade and be like, cool, this does not matter. As long as you just go break even. But yeah, inshallah.